will drift along with the mindless. The state of man has become worse than ever now. Disillusioned by lies that you always pay for more. Face the fact cause the fear grows ever darker. Take back all control, you become the monster. In my dreams, life is just a memory.
Does this show suck? This show sucks! Show is so boring! My God! Half of me wants to be somewhere else right now, man. I played 3 songs tonight because I would rather listen to my music than cover this horrifically boring SmackDown show. By the way, the OTS playlist on Spotify is now in the description down below. You're welcome. The Wyatt Six are back, guys. The Wyatt Six are back, finally. Finally, after whatever vacation they were on. It was Bray's birthday today. Of all days to come back, they picked a perfect day. What they will be doing on Friday night, I don't know. Will they be helping Friday night? Let's hope so. But 3 hours certainly is not, and my hope that it goes back to 2 is dwindling by the week. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the venue. Tonight's the last night in my mother's basement until at least the end of the summer. Tomorrow we go back to the beer garden, bro. And when I get to the venue tonight, we're drinking. And when I walk through those doors, I want to know on this Friday night, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday night SmackDown Post Show for May 23rd, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Friday evenings, wherever you may be tonight, powered by Turtle Beach, turtlebeach.com/scripts for 10% off your gaming peripherals. We'll talk about Turtle Beach a little bit later on in the show tonight. SmackDown. Oh, God. Where do I begin, chat? where do I begin, bro? I mean, I said it on a couple of uploads this week already. I am just painfully bored of pro wrestling this year, man. Listen, I love pro wrestling. I am just painfully bored, especially coming out of WrestleMania on WWE's side of things. I can maybe count on one hand the things that I'm interested in about, and I'm not interested in any of the top tier acts outside CM Punk. And even he's kind of cooled off because they haven't really progressed anything with him and this new faction with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker on Monday night. It just seems to have taken a stop before we get to Saturday night's main event, and then hopefully we get whatever happens next happening on the way to Money in the Bank. I am painfully bored with a lot of pro wrestling. WWE's not hitting creatively. AEW, forget about it, man. They are so lost out to sea that they are beyond help. Nobody is saving them. They're floating out there waiting for somebody to come and rescue them, man. They are fucking so long gone that Jaws and his buddies are all waiting, surrounding and circling the boats. It's over. They couldn't generate interest if fucking Jesus Christ himself came down and granted Tony Khan 3 wishes. Anything he wanted on planet Earth. Jesus, can you help me creatively book AEW? My son, I will gladly do that for you. And then Tony fucks it up. It's just the way it is. It's exactly what he does. Both companies are creatively inept right now. WWE, like I said, is the only one making money. So in their eyes, they could get away with it. AEW cannot. They cannot get away with it. You know, here's a little fun fact for you. Not sure if the chat knows this. Do you realize that AEW this Sunday, Double or Nothing? Now, usually I will preface this by saying AEW usually has some really late-minute fucking, hey, man, should we go to the show tonight? I'm a little buzzed. I can watch a little fucking indie pro wrestling, man. You want to go buy some cheap tickets to go watch some geeks wrestling tights? They usually get a lot of walk-ups on the day of the show, so they'll probably break 7,000 for attendance. They don't even have 6,300 tickets out the door for their flagship pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, the one pay-per-view that started it all for AEW. NXT Battleground is happening on the same night. NXT Battleground has almost 8,000 tickets out the door. Folks, if you look at this statistic and don't look at it in a negative light, I don't know what to fucking tell you. AEW is being outdrawn by a developmental brand. If that doesn't raise the fucking white flags of, hey, man, we should be worrying about something, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. Fun fact for you guys. I'm not sure if you were aware. I love throwing it out there and making them look bad because they deserve it. They don't listen. They don't listen. WWE certainly ain't listening, man. A lot of bad press this week. A lot of bad PR with the WrestleMania stunt that they pulled. Triple H tonight, via social media, announced Money in the Bank next year, happening August 29th, 2026, from New Orleans, Louisiana. Great job there, Paul. I don't know why Money in the Bank got moved. Last year, it was in July. This year, it's in June. Now, it's in August. Can we get a set pay-per-view calendar for when these shows are actually going to be? Why are there so many shows reshuffling? The one thing that I thought of when I heard this statement on social media, Money in the Bank usually happening after SummerSlam, or happening this year after SummerSlam. That's a new one. Usually it happens before SummerSlam. It's usually that bridge going into SummerSlam, one of the bridges going into SummerSlam. Now, if they're making Money in the Bank a pay-per-view in August, where's SummerSlam going to be? Is SummerSlam going to be in August? Late July, maybe? Who knows? Or is WWE bringing back the King of the Ring and making it a premium live event like the days of old? I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is, but being that New Orleans got fucked and they had WrestleMania 42 rescinded, they get Money in the Bank. Great. It's a great consolation prize, man. Awesome. It's like me giving my best friend a PlayStation 5 Pro for his birthday, and then 3 hours into the party, hey, you know what, bro? I'm gonna take my PlayStation 5 Pro back. I don't have one. I have a regular PS5 Pro, but I'll go out and buy you a PlayStation 2, man. It's so much better. Fuck you talking about? It's exactly what they did. But in the land of WWE, they want to make you believe that all the decisions are so exciting, man. Everything's so exciting. They got big plans lined up. It's great. It's great. All I know is, and I've been saying this, and this is the narrative coming out of this channel this week, if you do not have the creative to back up the prices you are charging, this shit is going to go south very, very quickly. Very quickly. Just like tonight's SmackDown. SmackDown every week usually goes south every Friday. I am starting to believe less because nobody said a fucking word. You would think that if it was in the news and they were hearing rumblings of something changing with the time for this show, that it would have been reported because everybody likes to be the first to get the news out there. Everybody loves being first, man. I got to get the news. You got this one arguing with that one. You got this one posting this and fucking all these websites trying to get the aggregation first. That's great, man. It's so awesome. Is anybody finding out legitimately what the fuck is going on with this show moving back to 2 hours? Because I cannot take any more of this shit, man. I can't. I'm sorry, man. I can't take any more of this shit. This show is so fucking boring. And granted, I've said the last 2 weeks, the pro wrestling aspect of the show, at least, was fucking great. What happened tonight, man, to Savannah, Georgia? Were you all super excited to go see Ronald Acuna come back and play for the Braves? Yeah, they lost. Great. What the fuck did they do for him? This crowd sucked. This show was boring. And I don't really give a shit about anything that's happening on this show right now because it's nothing but Money in the Bank qualifiers, and we got tag team wrestling, which is fine. But I need something to invest my time in. If I am going to sit for 3 hours, there better be a centralized focus on story. What story on this show is jumping off the page to you to get you excited about watching Friday Night SmackDown? Or is it that they don't fucking care and they're waiting for the NBA and NHL playoffs to conclude? Which is it? Nothing on this show mattered. Now, I don't mean that in the sense that the show didn't matter because it forwarded itself to Money in the Bank. We got qualifying matches. We got a tag team title match at the end of the show. We had the Wyatt 6 return. Outside that, there is no centralized focus of story on this show anywhere to be found. Anywhere. And it is starting to get frustrating because it's bleeding over into Monday Night Raw as well. And I'm asking the same thing on Monday night. Where the fuck is the story? And oh my goodness.
I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers. Oh no. 5 beers. Oh no. 6 beers. 7 beers. 8 beers. 9 beers. And a Bloody Mary.
Duffy with a $100 super chat. So in 2026, Money in the Bank in New Orleans will be in the start of hurricane season, she says. No, thank you. Dovey comes in with a $100 super chat. Oh Oh, my goodness. Dovey, thank you so very much, Dovey, for the $100 super chat. And we love having Dovey in the chat. Appreciate Dovey. If you guys want to get in on the action like Dovey, super chats are open and will remain open until the end of the show. We'll sit down with our cold beverages. I know I'm not the only one that's feeling that way. I really do wonder when we're actually going to get back to doing big business here creatively. I don't get a sense that they even give a shit. Money in the Bank qualifiers, it's an easy way for them to make TV important. Nothing else really matters. CM Punk hasn't been a factor on TV in 3 weeks. This faction warfare on Monday night hasn't really gone anywhere until hopefully the conclusion of Saturday night's main event. John Cena's heel turn has been a fucking flop. Nothing happening on SmackDown. There's no Cody. Randy's out. Roman Reigns is off television. Like, where are we going, bro? Where are we going? Will Money in the Bank deliver? Sure, it usually does all the time. But, man, they need to start picking up the pace, man. Everything just feels so fucking sterile, so flat, so uninteresting and unimportant, boring. Just a lifeless show with another lifeless crowd, and that's it. I don't know how you're spending this money and you're sitting there and you're not making any fucking noise, man. If I'm spending the amount of money to sit where these people are sitting front row, man, I'm having the fucking time of my life out there. What are we doing? Money in the Bank qualifiers tonight. Giulia advances for the women. Great. Great. Crowd didn't give a shit, but Giulia's in. We got to make a statement with Giulia. She seems to be a fucking flop in WWE as far as I'm concerned. A non-factor so far since joining the company. She's made it to NXT. She won the NXT championship relatively quickly. She had to relinquish it, and Stephanie Vaccair. Stephanie Vaccair. Yep. I know. Yeah, she lost to Giulia. Oh, she won. She beat Giulia. Giulia lost to Stephanie. Had to relinquish the championship. Stephanie was a dual champion. Then she gets called up to the main roster. She went through the gambit of WWE in like 6 months. Stardom to WWE, NXT championship. Then she got injured. She relinquished it. Stephanie wins it. She goes for it again. She loses. Now on the main roster. And now we're waiting for her to kind of break out. And nobody seems to care about her whatsoever. So she's in. She's in. We'll talk about the rest of the field now that she's in, which is looking super impressive, especially on the ladies' side. LA Knight, he's in Money in the Bank. He bested Shinsuke Nakamura and Aleister Black to get into the Money in the Bank ladder match. They did it in a very tasteful way where it protected Aleister Black. Shinsuke Nakamura, not so much. He's a loser and will forever be a loser until he leaves WWE. So LA Knight's in. So all the LA Knight fanatics out there, you are at least on your way to getting somewhat excited because he's got a big potential to win Money in the Bank. And then we got the Tag Team Championship match. Fraxiom. Nathan Fraser and Axiom against the Street Profits. Good match. Wasn't better than their first match, though. Wasn't better than their non-title match a couple of weeks ago. Just simply because this crowd fucking sucked. No heat whatsoever in the main event tonight from the crowd. Then we got DIY, we got the Motor City Machine Guns, and then we got the return of the Wyatt Six. Ooh, the Wyatt Six are back, man. The lights go out. And they're all standing in the ring, and Montez Ford is making the sign of the cross. And the Wyatt Six took out basically everybody that was out there. DIY, the Machine Guns, the Profits. They laid waste to Candice LeRae, who somehow made it back to television. And they look to be in the midst of the tag team chaos on SmackDown, which is a great move. We don't need any hocus pocus. We don't need any fucking magic tricks and fire and disappearing acts. Just get them in the ring and let them fucking wrestle, bro. Got some good wrestlers in that group. Bo, Dexter, Gacy, Rowan. If there's anything that they should be doing, they should be wrestling. You could look fucking cool while doing it. Just get them in the fucking ring and let them wrestle. So hopefully this is the direction. Anything else is going to hinder their progress on the brand, and it's not going to make sense. You don't need to treat them like some supernatural group of fucking people. Just get them out there, let them wrestle, and do what they got to do. The more you normalize and humanize them on the roster, the easier it will be creatively to book them on the show. Now, I'm not asking for them to lose immediately, but the more you do the supernatural thing and the immune to pain and all this other nonsense, then it becomes a little hokey, and that's exactly what we don't need for this new incarnation of a Wyatt group. So we'll talk about that. SmackDown at 3 hours was another boring show on Friday night, folks. I don't know what you want me to tell you. More than likely you were watching the Knicks Pacers. More than likely you were watching the Yankees, whatever hockey game was on. Or maybe you were just playing Doom Dark Ages like I should have been fucking doing. But I thank you guys for joining me on this Friday night, man. I'm in some mood tonight, so it's going to be a very colorful show tonight.
And of course, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
That's how I feel tonight, man. Thank you guys very much for joining me here on Off the Scripts. We're going to get into this show tonight. Let me talk to you for a little bit. I need an opinion. For the summer months, we have Best of the Best of the Best as the unofficial theme of the podcast. I'm asking you because you all watch me on a daily basis. I am thinking about making that song the drive-in song during the intro. I'm thinking about replacing Space Strippers with Best of the Best of the Best. Is this a good decision or am I going crazy? Now, we'll keep Space Strippers in the rotation of songs, obviously. It's a classic. But I feel like Best of the Best of the Best is the go-to. It perfectly describes what we do here. Nath Gaming says, no more drums. I'm going to get Def Rebelled. I don't know. I may have to ask the community. I may have to ask. Anyway. If you guys want the official Off the Scripts playlist, I've now updated the playlist. It is now linked down in the description. Go and check it out. It's all the songs that we have played on the show at one point or another. And I even included some songs that I wish I could play, but I can't. Otherwise, I'd get demonetized. But they're bangers, and they were in my mind to play on this show, but I can't. So they're there anyway. I got the final design. My guy, Dustin, who does amazing work, has finished the newest t-shirt design for 100 episodes of Tuesday Night Titans in collaboration with the Solomonster. We have a new t-shirt coming out to celebrate 100 episodes of TNT. This shirt is a fucking absolute banger. Maybe the nicest shirt since the Negan design. Maybe the nicest shirt since the OTS Negan design. Which I would love to update with a new, very vicious villain. I don't know who is villain-worthy. You know? But the t-shirt is a fucking banger, man. I can't wait to show you guys. It's going to be unveiled in a couple of weeks. We're heading into episode 97. Or 97 on Tuesday? We got 3 more episodes to go to 100. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yes, I love you, Solo. We all love Solo. I uploaded a video today on the WrestleMania being pulled out of New Orleans situation. Yesterday, we talked about it when the news broke. Today, the news was WWE wants to make WrestleMania a permanent fixture in Las Vegas. So, you know I went in. And you know today's upload is absolutely a fucking banger. So if you missed it, go and check it out. I will definitely recommend it. So it's all on the homepage right now. Go and check it out. Well worth your time. Tonight we're sponsored by Turtle Beach. TurtleBeach.com/script. Use that code script at checkout. Save 10% off your purchase on anything on their website. We'll talk about them a little bit later on in the show. Hit that thumbs up. 1,000 likes. Super chats are open. Get them on in. Hit that subscribe button. And make sure you guys follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. So make sure you guys go and follow me wherever you are on social media. Tomorrow we'll be live for Saturday night's main event. So hopefully that is a good show. Around 10:30 we'll be live tomorrow night. And then we'll be live, Jesse and I, on Sunday night for what should be a very emotionless double or nothing show from Phoenix, Arizona on Sunday night. So we got a big weekend coming and more content coming this weekend. So get ready. Your Memorial Day is going to be OTS filled as the weather here in New York City continues to fucking suck this Memorial Day weekend. So I appreciate you guys very much. SmackDown. Let's get into it. Joe Tessitore welcomed everybody to Savannah. We saw the Prophets, Fraxiom, Solo, Jacob, JC Mateo, Solo Sikoa, by the way, not Solomonster. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, JC Mateo, and Drew McIntyre was shown walking into the building. As McIntyre walked into the building, Damian Priest appeared out of nowhere and attacked Drew McIntyre. Officials ultimately broke McIntyre and Damian Priest up as they are building to their steel cage match tomorrow night in Tampa at Saturday night's main event. We start the show off with Tiffany Stratton. She's out there being that she is the world champion, the women's champion. She's out there basically describing she was where everybody is fighting, or what everybody's fighting for. She was in their position last year, and she went on to win Money in the Bank. This year, she's on the opposite side of the mirror. Everyone is looking to win Money in the Bank and then cash in on her, as she won it last year and cashed in on Nia. Tiffany started asking Savannah, Georgia, what time it was. Everybody chanted Tiffy time. Stratton reflected on how she walked into Money in the Bank last year, while this year she stands as the WWE Women's Champion. The match with Charlotte at WrestleMania was brought up. Last week's Nia Jax match, which was better than the Charlotte match at WrestleMania, and in all fairness, should have been the WrestleMania match instead of Charlotte and Tiffany, which was fucking awful. She brought up those two matches. Stratton set up Money in the Bank. Someone will have the same opportunity she once had. And all of a sudden, Tiffany was interrupted by Little Miss Bliss. Alexa Bliss music plays and she walks out. She threw Lily the doll down because she meant business on this Friday night. Bliss said in the ring with Tiffany, she didn't think she and Stratton had formally met, and then proceeded to list off her accomplishments in WWE. Bliss said she had her eye on Tiffy and weirdly added that she initially felt bad for Charlotte, but then realized she shouldn't feel bad for a queen, which I didn't really understand the comment, being that Charlotte legitimately, last week, I believe, told Charlotte that she was the only woman in NXT to befriend and be nice to Alexa Bliss while she was in NXT. So they either dropped the storyline completely or dropped the storyline completely, because that's the vibe I got. If the storyline was still a thing, then that comment wouldn't have been said, because she said tonight that she initially felt bad for Charlotte, but then realized she shouldn't feel bad for a queen. So the last 2 weeks of television, were they ultimately a waste of time? Not that I really gave a shit to see Charlotte and Alexa Bliss in any sort of camaraderie on Friday Night SmackDown. Bliss talked about how she doesn't know Tiffy, and she told Tiffy that if she thought her rise to the top was quick, Tiffy will have to take note of how fast her downfall will be. All of a sudden, Charlotte Flair's music hits, and out walks Charlotte Flair. Charlotte had a microphone, so you knew she would be speaking. And on this night, the crowd booed the shit out of her in Savannah, Georgia. Good on Savannah. Nobody wants to see Charlotte on television.
I might be the most humble WWE champion in women's history.
She then congratulated Tiffany Stratton on beating her at WrestleMania.
I have done everything in this business except win money in the bank. I will take my title back after I win money in the bank. When I want something, I don't wait, I just take it.
So let me get this straight. When Charlotte wants something, she just takes it. So why exactly is she in the Money in the Bank ladder match, or at least qualify? She's not in, which is great. Why is she in this qualifying match when history has shown that she has the Charlotte in the Bank contract? She doesn't really need Money in the Bank. So no matter if she wins or loses, she always has a championship opportunity tucked away in that back pocket. Don't really know why she's here. Tiffany questioned that Charlotte was a hypocrite because Charlotte said at one point, cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase to win the World Championship is the easy way out. Ooh. She did say that, by the way. So Tiffany got one over on the Android. Excellent. Tiffany called Bliss and Charlotte the standard, while Tiffany is the upgrade. She said that what was the word she used tonight? They're vintage. She called Charlotte and Alexa vintage, meaning that they're old. They're old news in the division. They're like an old piece of furniture that you know needs to go, but you're too lazy to get rid of it. Tiffany worked in reminding everyone that it will be Tiffy time, and then she walks away. And as she walks away, out comes Giulia. Love her theme music. Love her entrance. Love her, and the cool kids say it, aura. She's got a great entrance, great presentation. Outside that, when the bell rings, nobody seems to give a shit. So this was the way that the show opened. We got Charlotte out there in ring gear. We got Alexa, who's already qualified for the Money in the Bank. And then we got Giulia out there. And that's exactly what we get. Zelina Vega makes her way out to the ring during the commercial break because, let's be honest, nobody gives a fuck and nobody expected Zelina to win this match at all. Triple threat qualifying match for Money in the Bank. Charlotte, Giulia, and Zelina. A little rough to start here. A little rough to start this thing. And before we go into the first commercial break, Vega hits a moonsault on both Giulia and Charlotte on the outside. And after that, we go into the first commercial break. We come back from the break, and Giulia and Charlotte both were going at it inside the ring. Giulia wound up on the apron, and Charlotte kicked her to the floor. Vega came off the second rope and Charlotte caught her, and then Giulia came off the top rope and took both women down for 2 counts. All three traded blows back and forth until Giulia took Charlotte down and got a 2 count out of it. Charlotte goes off the top rope, hits a crossbody off the top rope on both women. Vega came right back, worked in a submission. Giulia hits a knee on Vega, breaks that up. Charlotte took out Giulia, and she goes for a cover and another 2 count. Charlotte, she's now standing tall over both women. She walked over both women to get to the top rope. Charlotte landed a moonsault onto both Giulia and Zelina. Here's the funny thing, folks. Charlotte is always heralded as the best women's athlete in WWE. How could that be when her moonsault is obviously less than Tiffany's? It is inferior to Tiffany's. So how is she the best athlete when the champion has a better moonsault and Charlotte does not? There was a spot in this match. I don't know what Giulia was going for. I think it was before the first commercial break. I didn't put it here because it was just so fucking awful. There was a spot where Giulia had her feet up against Charlotte's head, and she did like a neck twister. The utter silence in the building when Giulia did this move. Not a single fucking person even reacted to what Giulia was doing to Charlotte. Now, was it because they don't care about Giulia? Maybe. Was the move so fucking awful that they didn't know what to think of it because it was so fucking awful? More than likely. I don't know what type of offense that is, but she needs to snap out of that pretty fucking quickly. Shit like that ain't gonna fly here on national television in the United States. I don't know what the fuck that was. If that was something she did in Japan, keep it there. Shit is awful. We want to see impact. I don't know what this sterile version of Giulia is. I maybe watched 1 or 2 matches of Giulia on YouTube from what she did overseas. This, I don't know what this is. She better snap out of that pretty fucking quickly, man, or she's going nowhere fast. So, after the moonsault, both Vega and Giulia kicked out. Giulia came right back and worked a Rings of Saturn. Was it a botch? Chris Haley says it was a botch. I wouldn't be surprised. Did Charlotte not sell it? It looked like both of them fucked up. I don't know. Rings of Saturn by Giulia on Charlotte. Vega drop-kicked her opponents and then started to get the crowd into it. Maybe. Hits a 619 on Giulia and Charlotte. Giulia barely kicked out of a spear from Charlotte. Vega was on the outside, and Charlotte went for a figure 8. Vega broke up the move. Vega then landed a code red on Giulia, but Charlotte broke up that pin attempt. Charlotte missed a spear on Vega, but booted Vega in the face. Charlotte worked a figure 8 on Vega, but Giulia broke that up. Giulia followed up with a Northern Lights bomb on Vega, and that was enough to get the victory. This wasn't as bad down the stretch as the first half, and then ended up being a decent match by the time the bell rang, and Giulia had won. She defeats Charlotte and Zelina. Giulia pins Zelina. Charlotte is obviously not going to take a pin here as they need to protect her. Does she get in anyway? I don't know. I hope not. You know, they used to do last chance qualifiers. I hope that's not the case this year. We don't need last chance anything. She lost. Goodbye. Back of the line. There'll be another opportunity somewhere else. Maybe we do a Queen of the Ring. Maybe we do something else. Money in the Bank is not for Charlotte this year. Giulia did pin the United States champion, the women's United States champion. So no matter what they do, we could be looking at something down the line that they've already planted seeds for, with Giulia already owning a pinfall over the United States champion. It would be an easy way for Giulia to lobby for a championship match and get the belt off of Zelina Vega. The United States Championship title picture has been utter fucking dog shit. Zelina sucks. She's boring. There's nothing impactful there, and she's nothing more than a token champion. She is nothing more than a transitional champion to whoever is next. Chelsea Green was an awful champion, and I don't want to see her win again. Then we got Mia Yim Michin next, and B-Fab. This shit ain't working out, bro. You want to put some respect on the title's name? Giulia would be a perfect candidate for that. So let's hope that's the direction. Giulia wins, and the Money in the Bank women's field is looking fucking superb. Giulia, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, and Alexa Bliss. If WWE continues to play their cards right, we may be looking at one of the best Money in the Bank fields in women's Money in the Bank history. So let's see who else they add. Next week, we have another women's match on SmackDown. It will be Naomi, Jade, and Nia. Now, I don't know why. I guess because of outside interference, they're giving Nia another opportunity. Maybe that's the reason. But Nia went from a championship match last week with Tiffany to next week, a Money in the Bank qualifier. But I think in regards to Nia, nobody should really be complaining about Nia because she's honestly, out of everybody in that division, probably had the best body of work in the last 2 months. Nia Jax. So we'll see what happens there. That's the women's Money in the Bank qualifier. I'm sure we'll have one more on Raw, whoever that may be. So we have Alexa, Giulia, and either Naomi, Nia, or Jade will be qualifying from SmackDown. What the match is going to be on Monday, we don't really know yet. I'm lobbying for Naomi to win next week and then win Money in the Bank. I think Naomi should win Money in the Bank. That's me. That's my opinion. I don't know who you guys want to see win. Roxanne Perez would make sense. Anybody but Rhea Ripley. We've been there, done that. We don't need that. Or maybe that's the way that they get her and Io again. I don't know. I have no idea. This was a decent match down the stretch. Nothing too crazy here with the open. And I'm just glad Charlotte did not advance to Money in the Bank. Zelina Vega, after the match was over, was shown backstage, walking, selling pain from the match, and Chelsea Green walked in with the secret Hervis. Green called Vega a loser, and then Vega attacked Green. The secret Hervis then intervened, and Michin and B-Fab showed up to back up Zelina Vega. All the women brawled, and Nick Aldis ran in to break things up. Michin yelled for a tag team match. Michin and B-Fab versus the secret Hervis. Great. And then you want to know why I want this show from 3 to 2 hours. Tommaso Ciampa. He went one-on-one with Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin is an established singles away from Motor City Machine Gun. So is Alex Shelley. So this is going to be a great wrestling match, no matter what you think of these two guys or the lack of. Good match. I just don't really find myself emotionally invested in what's going on here. Just two teams, two great tag teams, fighting over who's better to go on to the tag team championships that the Street Profits have, and that Fraxiom is quickly moving up the ranks. That's it. There's nothing else going on here. All of this dilemma that we've been seeing all year, it's still going on with the tag teams on Friday Night SmackDown. You would think that that ladder match would have squashed everything that's going on, yet here we are, still, with the same teams and the same battles and the same tensions. Nothing's changed. We go into the commercial break. Ciampa, he's coming back and delivers a Widow's Bell DDT on Chris Sabin. Ciampa ran Sabin into the corner. We go into a commercial break. Back from the break, both guys were down. Sabin tried to kick Ciampa, but Ciampa blocked it. Sabin brushed it off and landed a leaping kick on Tommaso. He goes for recovery, gets a 2 count. Ciampa rolled outside to talk to Johnny Gargano and Sabin, and Ciampa battled on the apron, exchanging chops. Ciampa ended all of that while dropping Sabin on the apron in an air raid crash. This looked like it sucked for Chris Sabin. He immediately grabbed his head. Ciampa does such a good job of protecting his opponent's neck and head in this move. On this night, it just looked like a little bit of Sabin's head caught the actual ring apron, and it did not look good at all. He immediately grabbed his head. I don't know if he knocked himself silly. He seemed to be good enough to continue the match, but the initial blow and the initial drop looked like it fucking sucked. So hopefully he's all right. So Ciampa, this is his open to win the match. He sets up for fairy tale ending. Sabin countered into a dragon screw leg whip, which was followed by a tornado DDT. Sabin got a 2 count off of the DDT. Sabin went to the top. Gargano hopped on the apron. This led to a distraction. Alex Shelley confronted Gargano and Ciampa. He got in Shelley's face. Sabin hits a crossbody on both Gargano and Ciampa on the outside. Sabin went to the top. Ciampa cut him off. Sabin then pushed Ciampa off, and Ciampa saw the leg injury. I knew he was trolling. Didn't look like he got hurt, but I knew he was trolling. He played possum. So the referee goes to check on Ciampa. All of a sudden, behind the referee's back, Candice LeRae showed up and choked out Sabin on the top rope with a hangman. Ciampa took advantage, rolled down the knee pad, strikes Sabin in the face with his knee. 1, 2, 3. And that is enough for Tommaso to get the victory. We haven't seen Candice LeRae on TV since her very bizarre and completely unnatural partnership with Nia Jax. We haven't seen her since then. She wasn't doing much of anything there either. This, I like it. This makes sense. I like this pairing because not only is Candice LeRae the real life wife of Johnny Gargano, but this is basically what we got in NXT without Tommaso. Or was Tommaso in the way? I'm not really sure. Was Tommaso in the way? I thought it was Austin Theory, Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell. Maybe Tommaso was still there and he was kind of floating around before he got called up. But I like this vibe. It gives me black and gold vibe. It gives me a sense of old school vibe with this trio. It just makes sense. This is the right role for her because this is her posse. This is her group. Nia Jax never worked out with Candice. I don't know what that partnership was for. This works, so I like this. He was not. Austin Theory was in there. Okay. And then Dexter. Yes, Dexter was there. Not Tommaso. But I like this. Maybe they form a new way. Maybe they get a new group. Who knows? But I like this pairing. I think this is going to be best for Candice to get her involved in a lot of what's going on here with both DIY. Fraxiom. They were interviewed backstage by Byron Saxton. They were fired up about being the best tag team in the world right now, which they are. They are the most exciting tag team in the world, especially here in the United States. And they said they could cement that if they beat the Profits later on in the show, and they said that this was the biggest match of their career. It was. I was looking forward to this because the last one was fucking great. So if the last one was great, then this one should ultimately deliver the same. We got a video package on John Cena and R-Truth. Don't care. I don't care. It's simply being thrown together to get John Cena yet another appearance on WWE TV with it being a Saturday night's main event. That's all it is. Damian Priest. He was about to make his entrance out to the ring. Don't know what he was doing. Maybe just cutting a promo and letting everybody know about the steel cage match tomorrow night, which I'm very excited to see on Saturday night's main event. Hopefully it's not riddled with fucking commercials. He makes his entrance, but he and McIntyre instead brawled through the curtain and down to ringside. They're still brawling. They brawled to battle in the open of the show. Then they got broken away by officials, and now they're back brawling again down to ringside. So this is a common thread throughout the show. WWE officials broke them up again, and Damian Priest grabbed the microphone this time. Priest screamed into the microphone and said, "Tonight, I will be getting my pile of flesh." So he took out some security guards, and they went brawling until they were broken up again, him and McIntyre. Nice little side quest for these guys on the show tonight. Kind of being weaved throughout the show. Reportedly, both Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre are working banged up. Damian Priest banged up, McIntyre banged up. Hopefully they are all right, and hopefully they make it out and survive the steel cage match tomorrow. Because I know both guys, even though they're banged up, they're probably going to go balls to the wall and deliver a banger tomorrow night. I just hope that no one is seriously injured to a point where they are removed from television. The show could use them. So hopefully they are both all right and it's not too serious of injuries for both McIntyre and Damian Priest. Solo Sikoa. He was shown backstage with J.C. Mateo. Who? Jeff Cobb. Okay. You know, Meltzer reported today that WWE was thinking about naming Jeff Cobb, not J.C. Mateo, but J.C. Matanza. Kind of reliving the lore of him being under the mask in Lucha Underground. That would have been fucking cool. Now coming to the ring, J.C. Matanza. I don't know what the fuck J.C. Mateo is, but I would have known what J.C. Matanza was. Makes you wonder why they didn't go with that. Sounds fucking badass. Solo and JC were backstage. Jacob Fatu walked up, and Fatu asked to speak in private. He doesn't like JC Mateo being there. Solo said they could talk there because they are family. Now, we all know JC Mateo is not family. He's just a guy. He's a friend of the family. He's not an Anoa'i. Fatu said, all right, I don't trust or like Mateo. Fatu said Mateo isn't his blood and is not his family. JC Mateo stepped to Fatu and Solo stopped him. Solo said, Mateo has to channel that energy for his match later. Solo said he never left like Roman has left, and he wants everyone to come together as a family. Fatu told Solo to stop talking and hit his go-away line, which is all brakes, no gas. Yada mean? And that was the last thing that we heard before they go get ready for their tag team match later on in the show. Yada mean? The android once was enough. She was shown walking backstage and ran across Alexa Bliss, who said it was important to have friends. Bliss was speaking with her doll Lily and told Charlotte she'd see her at Money in the Bank. But then remembered Charlotte lost earlier and said, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if they're developing tension for a feud, if they're pairing them together. Did they move on? Did they just drop the last 2 weeks? Or was it all just simplistic build going into Money in the Bank? Which was it? All gas, no brakes. Fatu, yes. Yes. The Secret Hervis. Piper Niven and Alba Fire versus B-Fab and Michin. This match went 3 minutes. You know, Mercedes Moné was just recently quoted saying that she has control over certain things and that WWE usually limited her to 3 or 4 minutes in a match, and plans changed when they got to the building almost all the time. Now she's in control of those things, and we're not going to see those things happen again. Gee, man, it sounds like the woman has some sort of creative control. This is what she's talking about. This is what she's talking about. Honestly, chat, from me to you, how could anyone even remotely give a fuck about any of this. What does this mean? What does this mean in the grand scheme of things? Why does this matter? There's no tag team titles. They're dead. Liv is in Japan. Raquel Rodriguez is on Raw. Why do we have women's tag team matches when there is no division? Dead. I don't care to see it, and I don't really want to see it on Friday night in this aspect. 3 minutes. Meechin and B-Fab beat the Secret Hervis. B-Fab tagged in and landed her finish on Alba Fire. Goodbye. Could have put this 4 minutes towards the tag team match at the end of the show. By the way, they added a 5th match to Saturday night's main event. They added Zelina Vega defending the Women's United States Championship against Chelsea Green. Now, for a 2-hour show that will be riddled with commercials, I hope that the match doesn't get as much time as the last time Chelsea was on the show. It does not need to go more than 5 minutes. That's just the way that it's booked. I don't care to see it. If they do go a little longer, I hope that they cut time from the John Cena R-Truth match, because that also should not be a long match either. So they added an official 5th match to Saturday night's main event. They had to add a women's match. So it will be Chelsea Green defending, or going after, rather, Zelina Vega, as Zelina will be defending the United States Women's Championship Saturday night. Caden in the chat says, that's a bathroom break match. I absolutely agree. Could not give a single shit about the Women's United States title. Legado del Fantasma. We got a vignette airing. They were sitting at a dining room table with glasses of wine. Fancy. Escobar told Berto and Angel they were capable of achieving greatness together. Escobar said at Worlds Collide, they will come together as the best they have to offer. Escobar says they will stand victorious in front of their people. Escobar tried to make a toast, but Berto seemed to not be interested in what Santos was offering. Escobar told him to see the vision. Humberto got up, drank the wine, and left. At least he drank the wine. I mean, the guy offered you wine. You're not going to leave it there. You're going to drink it and then go. And go where you got to go. Escobar told Angel, let him go. He got up and left. Let him go. Berto will soon understand. We got a match. They booked a trios match at Worlds Collide. I don't know against who, but they do have a match. And I want to see if they actually have the graphic here. I want to look for the graphic. But they did book a match. I don't know who is in it, but I know one of the guys that's in it. They are wrestling 3 Lucha Libre AAA performers, one of them being Psycho Clown. Psycho Clown is fucking great. Telling you this right now. If you guys aren't familiar with Psycho Clown and you're going to be watching that Worlds Collide show, he's in this trios match with the Legado guys. Psycho Clown is a fucking badass. Psycho Clown walked into House of Glory and gave Mike Santana one of the best matches that he's had during his entire HOG World title run. Fucking great. Such a badass performer, man. Wait till you watch him. It's going to be great. I'm interested to see what he does, and I think that should be a fucking fun match at Worlds Collide, which, by the way, will not be airing on Peacock the afternoon of Money in the Bank. It will be live streamed on YouTube, apparently. So Worlds Collide will not even be given the Peacock treatment. Worlds Collide will be on YouTube. Dr. Wagner Jr. is in that one, too, yes. I'm not familiar with Dr. Wagner Jr., but Psycho Clown is someone that I am familiar with. Big powerhouse dude. So you're going to enjoy his work when you do watch him wrestle. So I'm very interested to see what he does mixing it up with Santos Escobar. Should be fun. Now, this is not Doink the Clown. No. Well, this is nothing like Doink. The Street Profits, they were interviewed backstage. Dawkins said it's a big night for Fraxiom and the Profits. Dawkins started shouting how tonight isn't a friendly exhibition. Montez chimed in and mocked Fraxiom for being called the best tag team in the world. Ford says they could walk out the same way they walked in as tag team champions. Solo, Jacob, and JC Mateo walked by the Profits on their way to the ring. They all had a stare down. Solo looked at the Profits looked at Solo. Jacob, Fatu both looked at both Profits. Fatu and Mateo made their entrance for the next match, which was Fatu and Mateo teaming up against Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix. Sounds like a thrown together match, if you ask me, outside of the relationship between Jimmy Uso and his brother Solo Sikoa, who was formerly the new Bloodline. That's it. So there's the tie-in for this match there. The other tie-in is that Jacob Fatu earlier in the show just told JC Mateo he didn't trust him and that he's not family. So they are a tag team tonight, and they have to show Solo that they can coexist, pal. They got to do it. They got to coexist. The good old can they coexist storyline. Uso and Fatu began the match, but it was not long before Mateo tagged himself into the match. That made Fatu angry. Mateo took Uso down pretty quickly, stomped on him in the corner. Fatu then tagged himself in. That made JC angry. So tit for tat here. We're not getting along on the Bloodline team. Phoenix tagged in. He kicked Fatu in the head. Mateo ran into a bunch of super kicks from Rey Fenix. With Mateo and Fatu on the outside, Phoenix hits a beautiful corkscrew plancha on both guys. Phoenix just beautifully executed this move, man. And that was going into a commercial break. They even slowed it down before they went into the commercial break. All you see is him spinning in slow motion. We come back from the commercial break. Mateo had the advantage in the ring against Big Jim. Mateo even hit a standing moonsault like he did last week against LA Knight. Fatu tagged in, landed a hip attack on Uso. Crowd loves the Samoan werewolf. Fatu, hip attack again, doubling up his offense. Mateo tagged in, placed Uso on the top rope. He teased the German suplex, but Uso fought out and knocked Mateo off the top rope. Phoenix gets a hot tag. Fatu tagged in as well. Phoenix walked the ropes, taking everyone out. Adios, amigo. Complete with a Poison Rana on Fatu for a very close 2 count into a 3. Phoenix stepped to Fatu, and Fatu landed a pop-up Samoan drop. He went for a hip attack again. He missed that. Mateo tagged himself in, went for a German suplex, but Phoenix landed on his feet as he flipped him backwards, and Phoenix landed on his feet. Uso tagged himself in as Phoenix backed into the corner off the German, and he hits a crossbody off the top rope on JC. That Fatu broke up. Phoenix came back in with a missile dropkick on Fatu. That took him to the outside. Phoenix tried to follow it up with a big splash, but Fatu caught Phoenix and threw him over the commentary desk, which is the same spot that they seemingly do every single week. We see it at least once a week. Someone gets thrown over the commentary desk. Inside the ring, Uso hits a spear on JC. He goes to the top rope, but Solo hopped up to distract Uso. It looked like he was bargaining him to join the Bloodline. Then Fatu joins in and gets on the other side of Jimmy Uso. That caused the distraction. Uso missed a splash, and he landed right into the clutches of JC Mateo, who delivered the Tour of the Islands, which is his finish. Great looking finish. Big spinning slam showing off his power, and that was enough to get the victory. Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo can coexist, and they win this tag team match. Defeated Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix in about 13 minutes. Good stuff. We got the tension there with Jacob and Solo. Now we got Fatu and JC Mateo. I don't know when the Tongans are coming back, how that dynamic's going to work, if they're even going to want to be with the Bloodline? I don't know. By that time, Fatu may be out. All I see is Fatu just getting absolutely cheered by the fan base week in and week out. He doesn't need them anymore. You start to sense this growing jealousy from Solo. The split's going to eventually happen. We may see it at Money in the Bank, seeing that there are developments now with Solo in Money in the Bank. And we got another new member potentially getting added to the Money in the Bank ladder match from his own bloodline. So we'll see what happens there. Byron Saxton, he was backstage with L.A. Knight. Yeah! Knight said Solo has a first-class seat to watch L.A. Knight win the Money in the Bank briefcase in 2 weeks. Knight said the odds have always been against him, but in Los Angeles, it will be Knight standing tall. Knight said that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, he is living, talking, and breathing Money in the Bank. He then offered up his catchphrase with everybody saying, L.A. Knight, yeah! L.A. Knight should win the briefcase and cash in, or at least try to cash in, on the world heavyweight champion, making him theoretically a Monday Night Raw superstar. He's got to get off Monday Night Raw. I've been saying this for months. I said this during the last fucking draft. Get LA Knight off SmackDown and get him over to Monday Night Raw. If there is any chance of him ever winning a world championship, it will not be on SmackDown. Not with John Cena, and then the title more than likely going to Cody Rhodes, and then Randy Orton. There is no chance of that happening. Zero. He at least has a shot on Monday. Even at the Intercontinental Championship. That would be something fresh for him as well. I could see him battling the Judgment Day and Dominic Mysterio. It needs to happen. Get the guy on Monday and just give him a fresh start. SmackDown is not doing LA Knight any favors whatsoever. Guys, we're going to get into the last portion of this show. But quickly, I want to shout out my sponsor for tonight's stream, Turtle Beach, turtlebeach.com/script. Make sure you guys go to turtlebeach.com/script. Use my promo code SCRIPT to save 10% off anything on their website. And I want to thank them for once again being a great partner this month, the month of May. Turtle Beach, tonight's sponsor right here on Off the Script. All right, man, we're in Ghosts of the Deep on Destiny 2. My fire team is yelling. Not very good either. My Titan just shoulder charged himself into a bottomless pit, and some Hive Abomination are whispering in Old English while chucking void bombs like he's in the playoffs. I'm cool, though. I'm calm because I got my Gen 3 Stealth 700 Turtle Beach headset on, and my audio is crispier than a well-rolled Gallahorn rocket. These Hive may be ancient, but my sound is next gen. I can hear a thrall breathing down my neck before it even spawns. And I'm calling out DPS phases like I'm hosting Off the Script on Sirius XM next to Dave LaGreca. My Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 3 headset comes with Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz wireless. So I'm in voice chat and streaming said dungeon wipes to my phone at the same time, like a true multitasking hunter. The memory foam ear cushions, chef's kiss. It's like my ears are being cradled by Saint 14 himself. And the superhuman hearing mode. Yeah, that's not marketing stuff. I literally heard a sniper lining up a shot through a wall like I had Hive Spidey senses. Listen, what am I talking about? If you're playing Destiny 2 and you're running these dungeons blind with a $10 headset from 2007, you deserve to wipe. Upgrade to the Turtle Beach Stealth 700 headset today and start hearing the game the way that I'm hearing the game, like it was meant to be heard. Loud, clear, and full of regret when a sniper one-shots you across the map. Head to turtlebeach.com/script. Use that promo code SCRIPT because in Destiny, sound is survival, and this headset is the real exotic drop. I want to thank Turtle Beach for sponsoring tonight's show right here on Off the Script. Man, I've done that fucking dungeon, man, at least. I've had to do that dungeon at least 14 to 15 times this week, man. Chasing those new rolls. God, that dungeon is fucking garbage. Holy shit, man. Just an excruciatingly, unnecessarily long dungeon. Ghosts of the Deep. You believe that shit? Anyway. Love me some Destiny too, man. Thank you to Turtle Beach. Great headset, great product. A lot of these headsets, man, they feel cheaply made. You pick up that Turtle Beach headset, man, I guarantee you'll be like, oh, this is a fucking substantial thing, man. Great sound, great memory foam cushions, great microphone. Love it. Awesome stuff. R-Truth. R-Truth. Triple M, what's up, brother? Listen, I got my heel clip and incandescent, no survivors yesterday from the chest, mind you, not even from the fucking dungeon, from the chest. Today, I was grinding the Cold Comfort because I got my glaive, I got my submachine gun, now I need the rocket. I got a great roll today, reconstruction and shield clip, but obviously I want bait and switch, which hasn't dropped yet, so I'll be doing that as much as I can. I'll probably be on tonight just doing it with randoms, but it is what it is, man. I got me a nice chill clip. I know that chill clip roll is going to come in handy eventually, so I'm keeping that one. R-Truth. R-Truth. What's up? He says. He's got his match with John Cena tomorrow night at Saturday night's main event. R-Truth said people asked him how he'd handle fighting his childhood hero. But Truth says they don't get it because he's not fighting his childhood hero, and instead the man who attacked him is a man Truth doesn't recognize. Truth says he can't figure out where things went wrong or how he could have prevented things. Truth says he realized a problem. Power. It's all power. Truth said Cena used to call him his friend, used to call him his brother. But the more power and fame Cena got, the more disconnected he felt to John Cena. Truth said the phone call stopped. He said he felt Cena was always annoyed with him, whatever Truth did wrong. Truth says he blamed himself and he was worried he did something to upset Cena. Truth says he talked to other people and they felt the same way that Truth did. He said Cena isolated himself with power. He called out Cena's ego. He said Cena stopped having fun, so now Cena gets mad when someone else wants to have fun. R-Truth says he doesn't like who Cena has become and doesn't believe Cena is even happy, dog. Truth said Cena is the GOAT. Crowd booed when he said Cena was the GOAT. Truth says he wasn't sure if he could bring Cena back, but he'll try, and Cena will not take Truth's joy away from him. He says if he's going to save wrestling, he has to save John Cena. He says he won't want to put his hands on John Cena, but if he has to put his hands on John Cena, he's going to beat the hustle, loyalty, and respect into John Cena. Truth says he misses his hero, and he can't deny that. He says, if Cena wins on Saturday night, we riot. He then ended with, what's up? He did his signature split, and that was it. You know, I get the facts. I said this last week. I'm not going to take back what I said. I don't mind this match. I don't. Because you did one thing in John Cena turning heel. So, obviously, having some sort of interaction on this retirement tour with R-Truth makes all the sense in the world, being that he made a career in WWE, mentioning John Cena, saying that John Cena is his hero and his friend, and basically stealing his moveset when he could. I don't mind that at all. It makes sense. But if you were to ask me, the day that John Cena turns heel at the Elimination Chamber, which went down as one of the best moments in the history of this company, everybody was shocked that they pulled the trigger on it. If you told me then that this is where we would be, 3 months after that, if you told me then this is where we would be, John Cena with 23 days left in his career before he retires completely, that he's on Saturday night's main event in a one-on-one match with R-Truth, I'd look at you and tell you that you're fucking mental. Has there been a bigger disappointment than John Cena's heel turn here on what should have been one of the best runs of his career? Has there been any more of a disappointment? The Randy Orton match was fine. The lead into WrestleMania was completely fucking nonsensical. We got some great promo back and forth between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. But this is, what is this? I'm already over it. I can't wait for it to be over. I can't wait for him to lose the fucking championship already. We got the championship on a part-time guy that ain't doing shit with it, and it's just holding everything back. I feel like I'm watching Roman Reigns all over again, but less part-time. I feel like I'm watching Brock Lesnar all over again. What are we doing to get John Cena back to a babyface? Is Truth going to be a part of that? Is Truth going to be the good angel opposing his bad angel? Is he going to have a good and bad R-Truth on his shoulders, whispering things in his ear? I don't know. This entire run has been a complete fucking letdown. A complete letdown. I don't mind it, because both characters have a history together. But I don't know how I could get excited about it. I don't. Is it going to be a match, a full-blown match? I mean, I don't expect John Cena to go fucking 10 minutes with R-Truth tomorrow. Is it going to be more of an angle? Is he going to beat the shit out of him? Is he going to do something so dastardly that he realizes what he's doing is not the right way of life? This is not John Cena, that R-Truth is correct, that this isn't the real John Cena? Are we going to see a beatdown so badly that it brings out Cody Rhodes tomorrow night? Cody Rhodes is going to be at Money in the Bank. He's going to be at Money in the Bank. Cena's going to be at Money in the Bank. Who the fuck is Cena going to be at Money in the Bank against if it's not Cody Rhodes? Do you know the rumor that's going around about Cena and Cody at Money in the Bank? It ain't going to be a one-on-one match. Could be. I don't see it. John Cena, Logan Paul, and Travis Scott against Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Cody Rhodes. So is Money in the Bank just the home of random six-man tag team matches? Because it's all about the Money in the Bank ladder matches, and the WWE Championship shouldn't be on the line there. The WWE Championship won't be on the line at Money in the Bank, and the World Heavyweight Championship won't be on the line at Money in the Bank because they're saving the World Heavyweight Championship match with Gunther for the Raw after Money in the Bank. So let's just go the stereotypical, and we've done this before, six-man tag team match. You mean to tell me that this creative team hasn't lost a step or two? You mean to tell me that this creative team hasn't lost some speed on their fucking fastball? They were throwing some fucking strikes, man. If they weren't throwing strikes, they put a couple of guys on base, but they got those outs. They were throwing some fucking scoreless innings, man. They were rocking and rolling. Now they're leaving men stranded on fucking second and third with one out. They're botching fucking plays. It's not a good look, man. It's not a good look. I don't know what this creative is. I don't know. Are they just really going and throwing shit at the wall with these fucking D-list celebrities in hopes that they stick? This John Cena experiment as a heel should have been the fun fucking time that we had in 2025. I'm not having fun. Who's having fun with this? Is John Cena even having fun? He probably himself wants this shit to be over. The fuck is this? This is my retirement run. This is my last year in WWE. Travis fucking Scott. I don't know, man. I don't know. on SmackDown in 2025, chat. SmackDown in 2025, we have R-Truth, 50-year-old R-Truth cutting a fucking 6-minute promo as he wrestles John Cena in a marquee match on Saturday night's main event. Where the fuck did we get off? What exit did we get off of, bro? Can we find our way back to the road, please? Shinsuke Nakamura, Aleister Black, and LA Knight, Money in the Bank qualifying match. As I told you guys before, I alluded to it before, LA Knight wins this qualifying match. Nakamura was in control before the commercial break. He jumped at LA Knight with a knee, and he takes that into the commercial break. The show comes back. Black had the upper hand on Nakamura. Watch him feud Black with Nakamura now in the mid-card on Friday night. That's all he needs. From Miz to Nakamura. You're going to be hoping this guy ends up back in AEW. Black landed a springboard moonsault. LA Knight broke up a pin attempt. Knight lifted Black, and the two attempted their finishers on each other, but each guy countered the other. LA Knight dropped Black and Nakamura, dragged Knight to the outside where he ran Knight into the ring steps. Black and Nakamura went head-to-head and traded strikes. Knight returned and threw Nakamura to the outside. From there, Black hits a knee on Knight and threw him out there. Black then twice went for high-risk moves on the outside, both moonsaults, and neither Knight or Nakamura ended up doing much to catch him as Black, off both moonsaults, hit very hard on the floor outside. So I don't know what the fuck happened there. At one point, I thought he twisted a knee or an ankle. Black rolled Knight back into the ring. Knight DDT'd him. Knight followed up with a leaping elbow. Nakamura gets himself back in there. Another knee to Knight's head. Nakamura covered Knight. Knight grabbed the rope to break the pin attempt. Nakamura went for another knee. Black caught up. Finally, Nakamura ran Black into the ring post. He then fired up and instead ran into a Black mass. LA Knight reemerged, threw Black to the outside after he hit Nakamura with the Black mass and steals the victory off of Aleister's finish. 1, 2, 3, he pins Shinsuke Nakamura off of the Black mass, and LA Knight advances to Money in the Bank. Right move. LA Knight needed a win. Black just got here. I don't really see Black winning Money in the Bank this year. He just got back to the company. Let's get him over in a meaningful way first. Same thing happened with Charlotte. They got her out of the equation. Giulia ended up winning, and she pins Zelina, which protects Charlotte, which at this point, I don't know why we're protecting her. Nobody gives a fuck. Aleister Black was protected because he nailed the finish. He was on his way to win. LA Knight outsmarted him, threw him to the outside, pinned Nakamura, protects Black. Knight goes on to win. Right move in both qualifying matches tonight. LA Knight won and Giulia won. Those were the best choices for both the men and the women. So there you go. LA Knight needed to go and win this match, and I would not be surprised if they actually give LA Knight the Money in the Bank. I think social media will be in an uproar if LA Knight doesn't win Money in the Bank. Speaking of Miz and Carmelo Hayes was shown backstage. Miz X Melo, how many times he had to take a black mask before Melo would listen to him. Miz told Melo he put Melo in a qualifying match next week against Jacob Fatu and Andrade. I do not think Jacob Fatu is winning his Money in the Bank qualifier. I think Carmelo is going to win, and he's going to pin Andrade. That's what I think. Solo or JC Mateo will inadvertently stick their nose in their business, in his business, and fuck him up somehow. And then Andrade will take the pinfall, and Carmelo would advance. That's the way I see it. Miz put over how important Money in the Bank is. Miz said that he lobbied. He got Melo in the Money in the Bank qualifier. Even though Adam Pearce asked him if he wanted a match, he gave his opportunity to Melo. What a nice guy that Mike Mizanin is, huh? Miz says that's how much he believes in Melo. Miz did the team's catchphrase, where Melo don't miss, or Melo don't miss. And what is it? We are awesome. Sure. Great. I get fucking cringe chills just even saying it. Jacob Fatu, JC Mateo, and Solo Sikoa walking backstage. Nick Aldis walked up to them and said next week on SmackDown, the final triple threat qualifier for the men's match on SmackDown will take place. Aldis said Fatu will be in the match. Fatu says, I love you, Solo. And Solo says he hadn't said that in like 6 months. Well, now he loves him because he got a Money in the Bank qualifier. Bianca Belair had a vignette. She's on her way back. She said the past 6 months have been some of the most challenging, frustrating times of her career. She lost friendships and her first match at WrestleMania. Belair said sometimes she wants to give up, but she can't let those things define who she is. Belair said she'll get through it because she's healing her fingers. She broke her fingers at WrestleMania, by the way. And in her heart, she's healing her heart. And here's to a new beginning. Belair said the only consistent thing in life is change, and her best is yet to come. We will see where that leads with Naomi and Jade, because that's where she's going. Next week on SmackDown, it will be Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and Jacob Fatu in a men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. On the women's side, it will be Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Nia Jax. So those are the final two on SmackDown. We don't know what the matches will be on Monday yet. John Cena will be on SmackDown next week. Great. We'll see what happens there. Do we see Cody Rhodes from Knoxville, Tennessee? Bianca Belair will be there because she is from Tennessee. Main event. Finally, Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins versus Nathan Frazer and Axiom. They are collectively known as Fraxiom. Best tag team in all of pro wrestling, especially here in the United States. We'll pick it up after the first commercial break. Before the first commercial break, we got Frazer and Axiom hitting a series of dives on the Profits to the outside. Sequence ended with a top rope moonsault from Dawkins was working a headlock on Axiom. Ford tagged in and drove his shoulder into Axiom, who was in the corner. Dawkins tagged back in, hits his big spinning stinger splash in the corner. He goes for cover off the splash and gets a 2 count. Axiom slapped Dawkins repeatedly, hits a DDT from the second rope, which looked great. So we get to the middle of the match. Frazer gets a hot tag. Ford tagged in as well, so we got Frazer and Montez in there now. They ran the ropes. Eventually Frazer landed a running shooting star press on Montez. Frazer on the apron. He stumbled a little bit and then landed a beautiful springboard missile dropkick on Montez for a 2 count. Dawkins tagged in and the Profits took control with a back body drop. And we go into a second commercial break. When the show comes back. This is the final break of the night. Montez was working over Axiom. He fired up and hit, or they fired up and hit some chops and kicks on Montez. Axiom went for a rear naked choke. Frazer ran in and worked a choke on Dawkins, who threw Frazer onto Axiom to break everything up. So all 4 guys were down in the ring as the match is nearing its conclusion here. Frazer tagged in, hits a step-up enziguri on Montez Ford. Ford is on the top rope now. Frazer ran up top repeatedly and hit a superplex into a Falcon Arrow. Axiom tagged in, kicked Ford as Frazer suplexed him down. And that is what they call the golden ratio. Only good enough for a 2. Crowd at this point, chat, could not be bothered to give a fuck. They were mostly dead for all of this match. The last time these two teams wrestled, it was, what was it, South Carolina? Great. Absolutely great. Oh, wherever they were. I don't remember where they were, but the crowd was awesome. Frazier ran at Dawkins on the outside, and Dawkins cut him off with a big right hand. Ford tagged in Dawkins legally, and Dawkins put Axiom on his shoulders for a blockbuster off the top rope. Frazier broke that pin attempt up again, and we finally got a chance of "This is awesome." Dawkins went to the top. Axiom cut him off and delivered a Spanish fly from the top. Frazier tagged in, hits a Phoenix splash. Ford returned from the outside and barely broke up the pin attempt. Saved the match. DIY ran down to the ring with LeRae and hopped on the apron. The Motor City Machine Guns were out there fairly quickly to put a stop to DIY, and all four men brawled in the aisleway. The audio is fine. Just refresh the stream. YouTube sucks. Thank you for your concerns. Ford landed a splash on the teams on the outside because he said, fuck this shit. You're ruining my match. I'm going to take all of you guys out. Go fuck yourself. That's exactly what he did. He did that big dive over the steel post. Frazier missed a splash on Dawkins, and Dawkins landed a spine buster on Frazier. Ford tagged in and went to the top. All of a sudden, the lights went out. Inside the ring, when the lights came back on, were the Wyatt 6. Crowd went crazy. Chants of holy shit, holy shit. They finally came alive. Wyatt 6 stood in the middle of the ring. Montez on the top rope, giving himself the sign of the cross, hoping for the Lord to save him in this desperate time. They took everyone out. Everyone that was out there, they took out. Uncle Howdy gave the mandible claw to Nathan Frazier. Chance of "This is awesome, this is awesome." Howdy gave Gargano a beautiful Sister Abigail. We even had Nikki Cross jump on top of Candice LeRae. Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy got in there, and they did some of their signature maneuvers. I think Dexter Lumis tossed Montez off the top rope in a very menacing way. And then I think Joe Gacy did his handspring back elbow to one of the Prophets as well. They took everybody out. After the Sister Abigail with Johnny Gargano, the 6 posed in the middle of the ring, and there was a birthday cake in the middle of the ring. Now, I don't know when Bray's birthday was, if it was tonight or if it was earlier in the week. They had a little birthday cake with one singular candle as the lights were out, and all of the Wyatt 6 were in the middle of the ring posing. Howdy blew out the candle, wished Bray a happy birthday, Bray Wyatt. And the show went off the air. The match itself with Fraxiom and the Street Profits was good. I enjoyed their first match better just because the energy in the building was a lot more palpable than it was here tonight on this rematch in Savannah, Georgia. The return of the Wyatt 6, we've been hearing that they're coming back and they're going to be integrated into plans on SmackDown. Nobody knew what those plans were. A lot of people assumed it was going to be with Alexa Bliss. They would fit perfectly in the tag team division. I like this move. I like that they're targeting the tag team division. They are a tag team faction. They have whichever combination of talent you want. You want to do Howdy and Rowan? You could do it. You want to do Loomis and Gacy? You could do it. You want to do Gacy Rowan? You could do it. You want to do Loomis and Rowan? You could do it. You want to do Loomis and Bo? You could do it. You want to do Bo and Gacy? You could do it. Any mixture of these 4. That's it. I like it. And while you're at it, they don't need all the theatrics. They don't need all the spooky vibes and the fucking magic acts and tricks. They don't need none of that stuff. Hocus pocus. All you need to do is send them out there, humanize them a little bit. They're over with the audience. People want to see them. People want to cheer them. People want to be invested in them. Go out there and treat them like normal human beings. There's no reason to make them into this supernatural entity that doesn't lose matches and that they're impervious to pain and they can't lose. That's when you start inviting trouble in creatively. You don't need that. You got 4 prominent professional wrestlers in this faction. Send them out there to professionally wrestle. That's it. The more you start doing with the theatrics, the harder it's going to be creatively to wrap your head around them losing. We don't need none of that. So I like that they're in the division. The division automatically gets enhanced. We got enhanced with Fraxiom, and now they're going to get enhanced with the Wyatts. SmackDown's tag team division has had quite the upswing since coming out of WrestleMania. I like it. Can we get some of that energy on Monday night where the fucking division puts you to sleep every fucking week? This is a right spot, great spot for them. They're back, which is going to make a lot of people happy. And them going after tag team gold is great. Now I see some people complaining. Why didn't Fraxiom win the titles? Why didn't they win the titles? They just got here. What have I been saying for the last several weeks? They went through DIY. They went through the machine gun. Or not the machine guns yet. They went through Garza's. They went through the Profits. They went through DIY. Pretty deadly. But they beat the whole fucking division in 1 month. Then they get a tag team title match. Slow it down. You don't want to beat them so quickly. So having the Profits beat them clean is not the right way to go about it, because then what the fuck do you do with them after they lose? Right back to the back of the line. Couldn't beat the Profits because WWE doesn't want to book the Profits to lose the titles yet. So throwing the Wyatts in there was an easy out. It causes chaos. It causes a no contest. Nobody wins. Nobody loses. And WWE plays it safe. So now we got another team in the mix, and that's a great thing. I don't know why people are complaining about that. That is a good thing, that we get another team, a myriad of combinations in the mix. And we get Uncle Howdy back on television. Probably the best thing that happened all night. Honestly. LA Knight advances to the Money in the Bank. Right move. Giulia advances for the women. The right move. The Wyatt Six are back. Main event went 21 minutes. Good stuff. Dead crowd. Boring SmackDown. I can't wait for this show to go back to 2 hours, because it does not need to be 3 hours on any given week. The show is fucking boring. There's little to no life on this show. It is a chore to sit through. We got Saturday night's main event tomorrow. Hopefully it delivers. And you guys will see me there tomorrow night live right here on Off the Script. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. I appreciate you stopping by here tonight to hang out with me. I know these streams are not as exciting. I mean, I'm great. Nobody just gives a fuck. Nobody gives a shit about SmackDown whatsoever, man. And the audience and the numbers show it. Because we usually do, what, 2,500 on a regular Monday night? We're doing more for Dynamite on Wednesdays than we do for Friday and SmackDown. Anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. As soon as your super chats are read, man, I'm getting out of here, jumping on my PlayStation 5. Going to relax for the rest of the night. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Go check out tonight's content. We got that WrestleMania New Orleans situation. I got yesterday's video and today's video. I got you all caught up. So go check it out. It's on the homepage. Really good stuff there. Any of the other streams, they're also there as well. We were live on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that thumbs up. It helps me out tremendously. Love being in the algorithm. If you guys have made it this far, leave me a comment. That also helps me out. Leave a comment down below in the comment section. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. And please make sure you guys go check out Turtle Beach. TurtleBeach.com/script. Code script at checkout. 10% off. Go get yourself a new gaming peripheral. They sell more than just headsets. The headset is the king of kings, if I could use it in a pro wrestling terminology. But they sell controllers and Xbox, Nintendo Switch 2 peripherals coming. TurtleBeach.com/scripts. Use our link. I pinned it at the top of the live stream chat and down below. So make sure you guys go check them out. Once again, shout out to Dovey with the $100 super chat. Love Dovey. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. Good Friday, JD. OTS. Let's go. Yeah. Hannah with the $4.99. Thank you for your kind words on your last stream. You may not share the same wrestling opinions as I do, but nevertheless, I'm a fan and love tuning in. Hannah, we love you. Hannah's a trooper. Hannah loves AEW. She's excited for Double or Nothing. She listens to me, not excited about AEW, not excited about Double or Nothing, and she's still in the chat. That is what you call a fucking fan. We love Hannah. Hardcore Kevin with the $2 super chat. We need Vince back to save WrestleMania, pal. No, we don't. No, we don't. Good riddance. Johnny Boy Vaccaro with a 5 months and a $5 super chat. You mentioned wrestling has satanic imagery. Gunther's 666 reign proves your point, brother. Johnny Boy gets it, bro. They could have ended the reign any other day, man. They could have ended it at 665 days. They could have ended it at 667 days. But they ended it at 666. Really? It's quite the symbolic number that you end the reign on. That is now in the record books and more than likely will never be broken. Open your eyes, folks. Open your eyes. What are we playing? Let's play this banger. Johnny Boy with a 5. With Money in the Bank lost, Charlotte will be U.S. champ. Becky will be IC champ. I don't like that. I don't like that 1-2 combination at all. Becky, IC champ, I don't mind. Charlotte, no. Jay Everington with a 5. I wouldn't mind seeing an OG women's heel faction with Charlotte, Alexa, Becky, and Natalya, or maybe a returning Paige. We need to draft Becky to SmackDown. That's where I thought it was going, Jay. I thought Alexa and Charlotte were going to form some OG faction from the good old days to take on the new blood. I guess that's not where they're going. They still very well could go there, but after what Alexa said tonight, going into Money in the Bank, I don't think that's in the cards. Ali with a 5. JD, if Britt Baker were to join WWE, how would you showcase her in NXT as the Doctor? She's already got the promo ability. Tighten it up in the ring a little bit, which I don't really blame her because she's as unmotivated as they come because of where she is and who she's around. If she was in WWE, we may see more fire to Britt Baker, which I do think she ends up there eventually. Ali with a 5. JD, I believe a feud between Aleister Black and Shinsuke Nakamura would be a great matchup. Just saying. I do not. Nakamura is as boring as they come, bro. You want me to fall asleep? Put Nakamura on my TV. Michael Krause with a 2. Goldberg will have his last match July 12th, Saturday night's main event. I think that's the case because I do believe that show will be taking place in Atlanta. As Goldberg said that his retirement match is taking place in the South. Something else is happening July 12th. Gee, I wonder what that is. Something in Texas? WWE, of course, would put Goldberg on that show. Toye Nice with a 2. Wouldn't be mad if LA Knight cashes in on John Cena. Me neither. Me neither. Cena's reign has been bad. Shane Brown with 29 months. Happy birthday, Bray. Fell asleep but woke right before the Wyatts came on. Now for the best to do his thing. OTS for life. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Tony Brown with a $5 super chat. A little bit of Miss Bliss juice along with Giulia cream makes a tasty dessert. That's why I watch pro wrestling, the booty meat. Listen, Tony, whatever gets the job done, bro. Wrestling's got some beautiful ladies, man. Nobody's going to blame you. Matchmania 23 with a $2 super chat. As a casual fan, JD, why would I care about Giulia? I don't know. It's a good question. She looks cool, Matchmania. Dovey, thank you again for the 100. Big Steve with a new membership. Thank you, Big Steve. Luke Joels with a $4.99. Is it me, or does women's wrestling, or do women wrestle more than the men? Yeah, bro. It's a narrative. Plus, I think that Evolution announcement is looming, so they're trying to showcase the women a little bit more so that it kind of goes in line, is in sync with that announcement. But yeah, sometimes it does feel a little forced. Yeah. Chris, 34 months. I acknowledge you, JD. Thank you for what you do. Loving TNT as well. Keep being you. I have a question. What the fuck are you drinking? What am I drinking? I'm drinking some Spindrift. Lemonade and iced tea. My favorite of the Spindrift family. Dom Wapo with a 23 months. Everything The Rock did this year has been pointless. From the Netflix premiere, Cena's heel turn, and now when he announced Mania in New Orleans. None of it makes any sense. The Cody Soul thing, none of it makes any sense. Everything The Rock has done on TV this year has been absolutely a failure. His NXT promo, nothing but a failure. Timothy James with 4 months. Jay, the distinct sound of your intro with the air drums is your own ecstasy of gold. I vote keep it how it is. Either way, you'll make it unique. Thank you for the valid opinion, Timothy James. I like switching things up, man. If it don't work, we go back to the old way. I don't know if I could physically bring myself to do it. It's been just a staple for how long now? You know? Space strippers has been just a fucking thing for years now. Havili with the $2 super chat. Fuck, marry, kill, he says. This guy wants to get me in trouble. Fuck, marry, kill. Stephanie Vaquer, Mariah May, or Toni Storm. I'm marrying Stephanie. I'm fucking Mariah and killing Toni. And Matchmania with a $10 super chat. I haven't heard more than 5 words out of the mouth of Fraxiom, Giulia, and Motor City Machine Guns combined since they got here. Why would I care about them? Because they do cool moves. Okay, and what else? No story. Matchmania, that is false. Fraxiom has cut promos the last 3 weeks with Byron Saxton. You'd know that if you actually paid closer attention, bro. Am I ready to be up at 1 o'clock in the morning for Double or Nothing? No, man. I think I'm going to lose a fucking... I think I'm going to fucking pop a blood vessel on Sunday morning. Monday morning. Anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for a great stream. We went 2 hours with this boring SmackDown episode, but you guys make it worth it. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out today's content as well. The WrestleMania New Orleans situation. It's all live on the channel. Go check it out. Go check out my sponsor for tonight's show as well, turtlebeach.com/scripts. Use that code script for 10% off. And I will see you guys live back tomorrow night. All over again, man. Saturday nights. Main event right here. Live from the Beer Garden. We're back at the Beer Garden for Memorial Day weekend right here for Saturday night's main event on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.